It is 9:47 at night. Your 70-pound Labrador just wolfed down his dinner in maybe 40 seconds flat, and now he is standing by the back door, tail sweeping the wall, giving you that look. You know the one. The look that every big dog owner recognizes as a request for one more round of fetch before bed. So you slide the door open. He explodes into the yard like a rocket. And right there, in that beautiful, completely ordinary moment, you may have just started a clock that ends in a $5,000 emergency surgery bill, or worse. And I know exactly how gut-wrenching it is to feel like the person who loves that dog the most just accidentally hurt him. If you saw the thumbnail of this video, you saw the promise. Today, I am going to show you exactly why letting a big dog run right after eating is one of the deadliest, most misunderstood mistakes a loving owner can make in this country. And I am going to hand you the complete at-home battle plan to make sure it never happens under your roof. Hello, my friends. I am Dr. Ray Carter, canine specialist veterinarian, and welcome back to the channel. In my clinic, this exact conversation, the one about big dogs and after-meal exercise, is the #1 thing panicked owners call me about at 11 at night. As you know from my other videos, when I sound this serious right out of the gate, it is because I have stood on the emergency room side of this too many times, and the ending is not always the one everybody wants. So take a deep breath and drop the guilt at the door. You are not a bad pet parent. Nobody ever taught you this. The kibble bag never warns you. Your breeder probably never mentioned it. You are here now, and that is exactly why your dog is safer tonight than he was yesterday. So today we are doing a complete masterclass on this silent killer. Grab a notebook, hit that subscribe button, and let us begin. Did you know that this specific condition kills somewhere between 15 and 30% of the big dogs that develop it in this country every single year, even with fast emergency care? Read that again. Even with a skilled surgeon on the table within the hour. That is how serious this is. And the #1 preventable trigger sitting behind those numbers is exercise on a full stomach. Chapter #1. The silent killer that hides inside an ordinary evening. The condition we are talking about has a technical name. Doctors call it gastric dilatation volvulus. Owners call it bloat. And in the emergency room, we call it one of the most terrifying phone calls we ever take. Because when it comes in, we are already fighting the clock. Here is what I want you to understand first. Bloat is not a stomach ache. It is not indigestion. It is not gas that will pass with a good burp on the couch. It is a full-body, life-threatening emergency that, in its worst version, can turn a happy, healthy dog into a critical patient in under 60 minutes. 60 minutes. That is dinner and a walk around the block. Real-world example. Last spring, I had an 85-pound German Shepherd named Boone come through my doors at 10:15 at night. He had eaten a big bowl of dry kibble at 7, chased a frisbee for about 20 minutes right after, and by 9 he was pacing the living room, unable to lie down. His belly looked like somebody had inflated it with a bicycle pump. His owner did the right thing and drove straight in. We were in surgery by 10:45. Boone made it, but that emergency ran his family a little over $5,200, and Boone spent 4 nights in the hospital. The correct way to think about this is that your big dog does not warn you the way we do. There is no groaning. There is no ouch. There is a strange, quiet restlessness, a belly that grows minute by minute, and a pair of eyes that do not know what is happening inside. Your job as his owner is to read the room before he can tell you. The rest of this video is going to build, piece by piece, into a complete prevention system. If you follow the plan I am about to lay out, you will drop your dog's risk of ever meeting me on an emergency table dramatically. Chapter #2. Why this hits big and deep-chested dogs so much harder than the little guys. Have you ever wondered why you never hear about a Chihuahua getting bloat? There is a beautiful and slightly terrifying reason for that. It is called the thoracic depth to width ratio. Fancy words. Simple idea. Big, deep-chested breeds, think Great Danes, German Shepherds, Standard Poodles, Weimaraners, Saint Bernards, Doberman Pinschers, Irish Setters, Boxers, and even a lot of large Labradors and Golden Retrievers have chests that are tall and narrow, like the hull of a sailboat. That shape gives the stomach an enormous amount of vertical room to swing. Small round dogs have short, wide chests. Their stomach cannot really flip because there is nowhere for it to go. Big, deep-chested dogs are the opposite. Their stomach is like a hammock strung between two trees, with plenty of slack for a wrecking ball swing. Real-world example. I had a Great Dane named Delilah in my clinic a couple of years ago. Her owner told me, and I quote, "Doc, I have had 3 Danes over 20 years and I never lost one, so I got comfortable." Comfort is the enemy. Delilah did not make it. She was 7 years old. The correct way is to recognize your specific dog's risk profile the day he comes home from the breeder or the shelter, and to build your daily routine around it from day one, not after a scary night. Instruction: if your dog is over 50 pounds and adult, and especially if he is one of the breeds I just named, you assume he is high risk forever, not probably fine, high risk. You build your feeding schedule, your walking schedule, and your play schedule around that assumption for the rest of his life. The budget trick: you do not have to remodel anything to protect him. Just move the food bowl to a quiet corner of the house where the other dog, the toddler, or the doorbell cannot spook him mid-meal. That is free. That single move can cut his gulping in half. Vet warning: I need everybody to lock in right now. If your big, deep-chested dog is already showing a bloated or drum-type belly, a restless pace where he cannot lie down, drooling ropes of thick saliva, or the classic dry heaving where he tries to throw up and nothing comes out, you do not wait. You do not call around. You do not post in the Facebook group. You go straight to the nearest emergency vet. Right now. Minutes matter. This is not the moment for the internet. This is the moment for the car keys. Chapter number 3, the 90-minute rule, and why the window before dinner matters just as much as the window after. I want to pause here and ask you a question, honestly. When was the last time you fed your dog within 20 minutes of a long walk? Not to make you feel bad, to make you notice. Because here is what nobody tells you. The danger window is not just after the meal, it is also before. A dog that is panting hard, thirsty, and revved up from a big walk is a dog that swallows enormous amounts of air with his food. That gulped air is exactly the fuel that fills the stomach in the first stage of this whole disaster. Real-world example. I had a wonderful client last summer whose Weimaraner named Ash went to the dog park every day at 4, came home wired at 5, and got a huge scoop of kibble the moment the leash came off. She was doing everything with love, and she was, without knowing it, priming him for the exact perfect storm every single afternoon. When we finally moved his dinner to 6:30, after he had cooled off and settled on the rug, his gulping cut in half within a week. The correct way is to think of the meal as the center of a quiet sandwich of at least 2.5 hours. 60 to 90 minutes of calm before, 90 minutes of calm after. Instruction: from tonight forward, I want you to actually block out the schedule. Dinner at 6. That means the walk ends at 4:30. That means no fetch, no roughhousing, no stair sprints between 4:30 and 6. Then the meal. Then absolutely nothing physical until 7:30. A slow leash walk to potty is fine. Everything else waits. The budget trick: no gear needed. Just move dinner by 1 hour. That is it. One free adjustment on the family calendar, and you have removed one of the top 3 risk factors on planet Earth for your big dog. Chapter number 4. And this, my friends, is where I finally show you what is actually happening inside your dog when everything goes wrong. If you saw the thumbnail saying this is the deadly reason, What I am about to describe is exactly what I was talking about, so lean in. Here is what happens inside your big dog when the wrong factors line up. He eats a huge meal, he gulps a lot of air along with it, he drinks a lot of water, and then he runs, jumps, or wrestles. That heavy, overfull stomach starts to swing inside his deep, narrow chest like a wrecking ball on a chain. And in the worst version, the whole stomach physically flips over on itself, closing off both ends like you twisted the middle of a balloon animal. Once that flip happens, nothing gets out. Not gas, not fluid, not food. And the blood supply to the stomach and to the spleen gets choked off in the very same motion. That is the deadly reason. Not the food itself, not the exercise itself. The twist, the violent, silent, invisible flip inside a chest you cannot see through. That is what kills, and that is why the 90-minute rule is not paranoia, it is physics. Read that again if you have to, because when your brain really understands the twist, you will never look at a post-dinner fetch session the same way again. Chapter number 5, The Gulp, and how a $10 bowl can save you $5,000. This is the single most cost-effective safety upgrade in the entire video. The faster your big dog eats, the more air he swallows. And air, as we just saw, is the raw material of bloat. A Great Dane who inhales 3 cups of dry food in 90 seconds is drinking down a truly massive volume of air along with it. That air has to go somewhere. In a normal dog, on a normal day, he burps it out. In a bad combination of factors, it stays trapped, and the stomach starts to balloon. Real-world example. I once had a rescue boxer named Duke whose new mom timed his meals for me. He was eating a full bowl in under 40 seconds. 40 seconds. We switched him to a slow feeder bowl, and his meal time went from 40 seconds to just over 4 minutes. Same food, same amount. That single change dropped his risk profile dramatically overnight, and his after-dinner gassiness practically vanished within 2 weeks. The correct way is to make the meal a puzzle, not a race. You want him working for every bite. You want his tongue and his jaw doing the slowing down for you, so his brain has time to register fullness before he inhales the whole bowl. Instruction: get a slow feeder bowl with tall silicone or ceramic ridges. Feed his normal portion in it. The goal is a meal that takes at least 3 to 5 minutes to finish, ideally closer to 7. The budget trick, the ladder here, is beautiful. The premium option is a stainless steel slow feeder bowl for around $25, which will last his entire life. The middle option is a plastic maize bowl for about $8 to $12 at any big box store. And the free version, the one I love telling people about, is to take his regular flat bowl, wash it well, and place one clean, full-size tennis ball right in the middle, but only if your dog physically cannot fit the ball in his mouth. For giant breeds such as Great Danes and St. Bernards, a standard tennis ball is small enough to be swallowed whole, which would cause a life-threatening intestinal obstruction requiring the very emergency surgery you are trying to prevent. If you have a giant breed, use a large Kong toy or another smooth object that is genuinely too wide to fit past his molars. Stay in the room the entire time he eats and remove the object the moment dinner is done. Safety is never optional. Chapter number 6. One big meal versus 2 smaller meals, and why the answer matters more than you think. Let me guess. You feed your big dog once a day, maybe at dinner time, because that is how it has always been done, or because that is what the bag said, or because he seems fine. Sound familiar? I hear this in my clinic every single week. Here is the truth. In big, deep-chested breeds, one enormous meal a day is one of the biggest, most avoidable risk multipliers in the science. A stomach stretched to its maximum capacity is exactly the stomach that flips. Real-world example. 2 standard poodle litter mates came into my practice last year. Same house, same food, same activity level. The difference was the schedule. One got 1 massive bowl at 5 in the afternoon. The other got 2 smaller bowls, one at 7 in the morning and one at 5 in the afternoon. Guess which one showed up in my emergency room with early-stage bloat symptoms twice by age 6? Guess which one never did? The correct way is to split the daily calories. Same total food. 2 events instead of 1. Instruction: take your dog's current daily portion, divide it in half. Feed 1/2 in the morning, before you leave for work, at least 90 minutes before any big activity. Feed the other half in the evening, again with the 90-minute quiet window after. And not equal portions is fine too. 60% in the evening and 40% in the morning works beautifully for most families. The budget trick, literally free. It is a scheduling change. You already own the food, you already own the bowl. You just split the portion in 2. Chapter number 7, the water conversation. Because this one gets weird, fast. Have you ever watched your big dog come in from a summer walk and drink half a gallon of water in one long, desperate go? I have watched it, and my stomach clenches every single time. Massive water gulping on an empty or full stomach is another huge trigger for stomach distension, and the combination, big water intake plus a meal plus movement, is the perfect storm my emergency room sees the most on hot Saturday afternoons in July. Real-world example. I had a golden retriever named Sunny, whose owner would come home from the park, dump a full bowl of water down, and put dinner in the very next bowl. Sunny would slam the water in about 15 seconds and go straight for the kibble. That family had 2 bloat scares in 1 year before they even called me. We changed exactly one thing, small sips only for the first 15 minutes home. He now waits comfortably every single evening. The correct way is to control the pace of both liquid and food after any physical activity or heat. Instruction: after a walk, especially in the summer, do not put down a big open bowl of water. Offer 3 to 4 small refills of about 1 cup each, spaced 10 to 15 minutes apart, then wait 40 minutes, then feed dinner, then the 90-minute quiet window. The budget trick: you can buy a fancy slow drink water fountain for around $40 if you want the premium option, but an old clean ice cube tray filled with cool water and given a few cubes at a time is a free trick I have been teaching for a decade. He cools off, he drinks slower, everybody wins. Chapter number 8, stress, excitement, and the mystery ingredient nobody talks about. I promise you, this is the piece that is missing from 99% of the articles you have read online. But Dr. Carter, you might be thinking, my dog is calm most of the time. Does this really apply to me? Yes, because most of the time is not all of the time, and bloat only needs one wrong evening. Stress and high excitement flood the body with adrenaline, and adrenaline changes gut motility, meaning the stomach and the intestines slow way down at exactly the worst possible moment. If you feed a hyped-up dog, or if you let a hyped-up dog run right after eating, you are stacking 3 risk factors on top of each other. Full stomach, slowed digestion, physical bouncing. Real-world example, one of the saddest cases of my entire career was a Saint Bernard whose family hosted a big holiday gathering. 15 guests, doorbells constantly, kids everywhere. The dog was so excited he barely touched his food all afternoon. Then, at 9 at night, when everyone finally sat down, he inhaled a huge bowl in one go. Half an hour later, a child ran through the living room and he bolted after her. He did not make it through the night. That story has stayed with me for years. 15 guests, 1 preventable moment. The correct way is to protect the meal from the chaos, not to squeeze it into the chaos. Instruction: on high excitement days, holidays, guests, moving day, thunderstorms, You feed a smaller portion in a quiet, closed room when the house has finally settled, and you hold the 90-minute quiet window with extra discipline. The budget trick, a $5 baby gate at the pet store or the thrift shop, blocking off a bedroom during dinner, is one of the very best safety investments a big dog family can make. Vet warning. This is the second and final alert of this video, and I need every single one of you to memorize the 4 signs that mean you leave the house right now. Number 1, a belly that looks bloated or drum tight. Number 2, restlessness where he cannot lie down, keeps standing back up, keeps changing position. Number 3, drooling ropes of thick saliva. And number 4, retching without producing anything, that dry heaving motion where the whole body tries to throw up and nothing comes. Any one of those 4 alone in a big deep-chested dog is a run do not walk emergency. You are not overreacting, you are saving his life. Chapter number 9. And finally, the one you have been waiting for since the beginning of this video, the conversation about gastropexy. You knew this was coming. For the highest risk breeds, there is a preventive surgery called a gastropexy. In plain English, the surgeon tacks the stomach to the inside wall of the abdomen so it physically cannot flip. It does not stop bloat completely, but it stops the deadly twist, which is the part that actually kills. Real-world example, I have a beloved patient, a Great Dane named Copper, who had a prophylactic gastropexy done at the same time as his neuter at 18 months. He is now 6 years old. He has had 2 mild bloat episodes in his life that resolved on their own overnight, precisely because his stomach could not flip. His family calls that surgery the best money they ever spent on him, and I believe them. The correct way is to have a real, honest conversation with your regular vet in the first 2 years of your dog's life about whether he is a candidate. Instruction: if you have a Great Dane, a Standard Poodle, an Irish Setter, a Weimaraner, a large Doberman, a large German Shepherd, or a Saint Bernard, you ask your vet about combining a prophylactic gastropexy with the spay or neuter appointment. That is the ideal window. 1 anesthesia, 2 procedures. The budget trick. The cost of a planned prophylactic gastropexy in this country generally runs about $400 to $1,200 when combined with another surgery. Compare that with the $4,000 to $8,000 plus an overnight ICU stay of an emergency bloat surgery in the middle of the night. This is one of the clearest financial and emotional wins I know of in preventive veterinary medicine. Now, as a veterinarian who deeply respects your trust, I have to tell you the hard truth. Everything I have taught you today reduces risk dramatically. It does not reduce it to 0. Bloat has a genetic component, a temperament component, and a still not fully understood component that the whole veterinary community is actively studying. A dog can do everything right and still have one bad night. That is the honest, uncomfortable reality, and I would rather you hear it from me than from a stranger in a crowded waiting room at midnight. That is why the annual checkup matters. That is why the emergency vet's phone number lives on the fridge, in bold marker, right next to the pediatrician's. And that is why, if you throw every rule from this video out the window and try to do the whole thing at once tonight, brand new bowl, brand new schedule, brand new gate, all at the same time as a scheduled play date, I guarantee you that you will be cleaning very confused throw up off the kitchen tile at 3 in the morning. Change one thing at a time. So let me put this all in your hands very simply. Here is your masterclass, one more time, from the top. Number 1, the deadly reason is a stomach that fills with gas and then twists on itself. Number 2, big deep-chested breeds are the ones at highest risk, forever. Number 3, protect the meal with a 60 to 90 minute quiet window before and a strict 90-minute quiet window after. Number 4, slow the gulp with a slow feeder bowl, or only for dogs that physically cannot fit a full-size tennis ball in their mouth, place one clean tennis ball in the center of his normal bowl. Giant breeds such as Great Danes and Saint Bernards can swallow a standard tennis ball whole, causing a life-threatening intestinal blockage. Those dogs need a larger, breed-appropriate obstruction, such as a large Kong. Always stay in the room the entire time he eats this way, and remove the object the moment he finishes, before he has any chance to chew it apart and swallow pieces. Number 5, split the daily food into 2 smaller meals instead of 1 huge one. Number 6, control the water pace after activity, small refills only, then wait. Number 7, guard the meal from stress and excitement, especially on chaotic days. And number 8, talk to your regular vet in the first 2 years about a prophylactic gastropexy for the highest risk breeds. That is a lot, I know. So here is your simple 3-step battle plan for tonight. First, move dinner so it lands at least 60 to 90 minutes after his last real activity. Second, put a clean tennis ball in the middle of his bowl before you serve it. Only if your dog cannot fit a full-size tennis ball in his mouth, or order a slow feeder before you go to bed. Third, write the emergency vet's phone number on a magnet and stick it on the fridge before you sleep tonight. My challenge to you, pick just one thing from this video, just one, not all 8, not the perfect routine by Sunday. One thing, tonight, because 1 done beats 10 planned. I know this was a heavy one, my friends. I know it is scary to hear that something as innocent as an evening game of fetch could hurt the dog you love more than anything in this world. But the fact that you watched this video all the way to the end proves how much you truly love him. So do me a favor, hit the like button so this safe, honest content can go and protect a lot more big dogs across this country. If you are new here, subscribe, because next week we are going to talk about something just as important. And in the comments, tell me one thing. What breed is your big dog, and what is his name? I try to read every single comment. Give your dog a gentle scratch behind the ears for me. Stay safe, trust your instincts, and I'll see you in the very next video.